Today we're breaking down exactly what you need to know about LLCs and S Corps, how they're different, and when it makes sense to switch from one to the other. If you're earning over $50,000 a year in profit, this video could save you tons on taxes, so be sure to stick around to the very end. Also, just a note, this is not financial advice, it's just for educational purposes only, so be sure to consult a professional to see what's right for your specific situation. All right, let's get into it. Let's first start with LLC. LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. It's one of the most popular ways to start a business in the United States, and for good reason. An LLC gives you liability protection, which means that your personal assets, like your house and your car, are going to be protected if anything goes wrong with your business. LLCs also come with pass-through taxation. This means that the business itself doesn't pay federal income tax. Instead, the profits pass through to you, and you pay taxes on it just once on your personal tax return. That's a big win when compared to C corporations, which are taxed twice. LLCs are easy to set up, have low maintenance fees, and simple filing requirements. That's why there are over 20 million LLCs in the country right now. But here's the downside that most business owners don't realize. LLCs are subject to self-employment taxes, and it's equal to 15.3% of your entire profit. This is on top of your federal tax as well as your state income tax if you live in a state with state income tax. So for example, let's say your business makes $100,000 a year in profit. You're going to be paying over $15,000 in self-employment tax alone on that $100,000 of profit. That's a huge chunk. This is where S corporations come in and make a lot of sense. An S corporation is not a type of business like an LLC. It's actually a tax election. This means that you can form an LLC and choose to have your LLC taxed as an S Corp. And to do this, you just file Form 2553 with the IRS, or you can just do this on an LLC formation company's website. The number one reason why LLC owners choose to have their LLC taxed as an S Corp is to save money on taxes. Let's go back to that business that's making $100,000 a year in profit. With an S Corp, you can divide that $100,000 a year into two separate parts. The first part is going to be your salary, and the second part is going to be the distribution. Only your salary is subject to Social Security and Medicare taxes. The distribution is not. Social Security and Medicare taxes are under that umbrella of the 15.3% self-employment tax. So let's say you pay yourself $40,000 a year as a salary and you take $60,000 a year as a distribution. You only have to pay that 15.3% self-employment tax on the $40,000 that is your salary, not the full $100,000 of profit. And that can save you over $9,000 in taxes for just one single year. Now, you can't just pay yourself a super tiny salary and take the rest as distribution. The IRS requires that you pay yourself a reasonable salary based on your industry, your role, and how much you're making. A common guideline, which is not set in stone, is to take between 30 to 50% of your profit as salary and the rest as distribution. Now, this gets a little bit complicated because you really have to understand what a reasonable salary is for your specific role and industry. And we have another video on this channel dedicated to showing you exactly how to get that reasonable salary. There's a company called RC Reports that we really like that creates a report for you based on a bunch of industry data. So we'll be sure to leave that video linked down below in the description so you can check out how to get your reasonable salary. Now you might be asking, when should you make the switch from LLC to S Corp? Now this isn't set in stone and it's just general advice in the industry, but if you're making less than $50,000 a year in profit, it's usually better to stay as a regular LLC. The cost of running an S Corp, like payroll services and separate tax filings, might outweigh the tax savings at that level. But if you're making over $50,000 a year in profit and you expect to keep growing, then an S Corp can be a game changer in saving you a lot of money. Now, before you rush to file your S Corp, there are some rules that you need to know. S Corps can only have up to 100 shareholders. This is different than C corporations, but likely isn't going to affect you, especially if you're just starting out. You must be a US citizen or permanent resident, and shareholders have to be individuals, not other companies or partnerships. You also can only have one class of stock, and your business must be based in the United States. To make this election, you can file Form 2553 with the IRS, and ideally you should file with within the first 75 days of forming your business or early in the calendar year in order for it to apply to that tax year. So let's go over a quick example. Imagine a person runs a growing freelance design business. Last year, this person made $90,000 and paid over $13,000 in self-employment tax. This year, this person elects to have their LLC taxed as an S Corp, paying themselves a $40,000 salary and the other $50,000 as a distribution. Now they're only going to pay the self-employment tax, which is Social Security and Medicare taxes on that $40,000 a year salary, not the full amount. That's going to save this person around $6,000 a year in self-employment tax savings. Then you can use this money to invest back in your business, to get a virtual assistant, to hire other employees, or do whatever else needs to be done. So here's the bottom line when it comes to LLCs and S corporations. If you're brand new and you haven't really made much money, just keep things simple and start with an LLC. Now, if you're consistently making over $50,000 a year in profit and you want to reduce your tax burden, you should seriously talk to your accountant about filing Form 2553 for your S Corp election. Just be sure to get professional help to do that to ensure that you're meeting all the guidelines and everything is right for your specific business. Now that you know the difference between LLC and S Corp and when to have each, we're actually going to show you how to set up an LLC and to elect your LLC as an S Corp using one of our favorite LLC formation services, Northwest Registered Agent. So go ahead and click on that link down below in the description. We'll join up here together and walk through the LLC formation process. We love Northwest Registered Agent. They're super simple, really easy to use, and very affordable. I love walking through their process because of how easy it is. So let's go ahead and do that here now. Once you click on that link down below in the description, it should bring you to a page that looks very similar to this. We'll go ahead and get started here for $39, which is a really great deal to start your LLC. Now we're here, we're forming a new company. It asks us to put in what type of business we are. So let's go ahead and just say LLC, and then we'll go ahead and choose the state we're in. I am in California, so I'll go ahead and choose that. If we scroll down here, you'll see that the standard filing fee for California is $90 for 6 days. Now this is going to vary from state to state, and just know that Northwest doesn't get any of this money. This goes directly to the Secretary of State for your state. I can pay for an expedited fee at $440. I would never do that. It sounds really expensive, but you can do that if you need it very fast. So depending on what state you're filing in, these fees range anywhere from like $40 all the way to $200. So just note that I am in a little bit more expensive of a state of California, so yours might be a little bit cheaper. All right, once we're finished with that, let's go ahead and click continue here. Now we're going to have to put in our business name, so let's go ahead and do that now. Then you can choose whether or not you want to send a copy of lawsuits and legal notices to your attorney. We'll go ahead and say no for now. Next, let's go ahead and put our business purpose. All right, once we've done that, the next thing that's very important is you want to choose our registered agent address for both the physical and mailing address. This is included for the first year with Northwest Registered Agent. It's one of the reasons why we like them so much. This is normally a value of anywhere from $99 a year to $300 or $400 per year. And with them, it's free, and you want to keep your information off the public domain. That's why you use a registered agent service, so you don't have to put all of your private information out there for people to see. Once we're finished with this, let's go ahead and click continue. Now we have to choose on the management structure of our LLC. You can either be a member managed LLC or a manager managed LLC. Now, most of the people watching this video are going to be a member managed LLC. This just means that you or another person are managing it. If you hire someone to manage your LLC, then you're going to be a manager managed LLC. But most people here will be a member managed. Let's go ahead and put in our information here. And then again, we'll choose our registered agent address so we can keep our private information off the public domain. Let's go ahead and click continue now. We'll go ahead and enter our contact information here. And then we can go ahead and click continue again. Let's go ahead and put in our email address, and we can create a password here. Once we've finished with that, let's go ahead and click continue. They offer this business identity program. It's free for 90 days. It's a free trial, and it includes a business website, a business email, and a business phone number. You can also turn this off and choose to bundle it a la carte if you'd like. We'll go ahead and leave that off for now. Let's go ahead and click continue. Now we get to the important optional add-on items. Now these are all going to be an additional fee, but some of them are very important, so pay close attention here. The tax ID is your EIN number. This is basically the social security number for your business. It allows you to operate your business, and this is the number that the government is going to use when it's time to file your taxes. This number is also used to apply for business bank accounts and business credit cards so that you can have a credit score that goes with your business. Now, it's only $50 if you have a social security number and $200 if you don't, but instead of going to the IRS's website after your LLC is filed, Northwest is just going to do all this for you for only $50. So I would definitely do this. It'll save you a lot of time later on. You can also elect your LLC to be taxed as an S Corp here. This is going to file form 2553 for you, and it's $100. Now you may want to hold off on this. Like we said earlier, you might not want to do it right away, but if you're already generating over $50,000 a year in profit, then it might be good for you to do now. We'll go ahead and leave this off. Do it when it's right for you. They also have a premium mail service, a trademark service, and a trade name DBA. You can include any of those if you like. Now let's go ahead and click continue, and we'll go ahead and put in our credit card information here. All right, and once we've done all that, let's go ahead and review our cart before checking out. So we have that basic package at $39, which is a great deal for getting your LLC off the ground. Because it comes with that registered agent service, which is free for the first year, then they waive the filing service fee. Next, there's that $90 processing fee, which goes directly to the state of California or whichever state you file in. Then they also have compliance filing, which is waived here, a free initial report, and then the tax ID, which is $50 that we added on. Total here is $179, $90 of that being the filing fee that you'd have to pay to the state website anyway. So this is a really great deal to have your LLC up and ready to go. Once you're finished, go ahead and click done and you're all set to go. All right, guys, we hope you found some value in that video. If you did, please leave us a like, subscribe, comment down below, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this in the future. This channel is dedicated to new and existing business owners to help you with everything that you need to know related to your LLC and getting the best deal out there. We review the best platforms and tools to help you set up, optimize, and manage your LLC. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We wish you the best, and we'll see you back again in the next video.